Okay, this is a documentary on converting DLC from Microsoft Flight to a standalone install. It can also be done on Steam. This is my walkthrough tutorial of the work I've currently have figured out and done. So, starting with what I managed to achieve so far. The DLC planes, all of them that was ever released, the DLC scenery, all of them released, the main install for the standalone right here, and how I managed to sort out the DLC mess is I actually have them all from Windows Live back in the day, and I just managed to have kept them for so long. So the first thing I will do is we'll install Microsoft Flight, the standalone. I need a product key for this. Okay, that's interesting. I will load up for game for Windows Live. You shouldn't need a product key for this. By the way, for people that wanted to know, you can re-download your DLC using this still. You have to use the same version that comes with Microsoft Flight. I will copy that, close that, and I will back up for a second, make a new folder, call it key, because that would probably be important for if any reason I can't get it again. Okay, so install the key, we'll do that. First things first, for this demonstration of it, because I don't want it to conflict, we'll quickly make sure my xlive.back, I quickly rename that so I can show my proof of concept without using my DLC. Well, I'm waiting for this to install. The way I found out what each DLC did is you go into the DLC, you go content, you open it up in a zip file. You can see what's in it over here. But the way to actually see, just open up config, and this DLC was the A6M20. So I made a folder. In DLC called AM260, and then there's a preview one because there's two planes that had previews, so that's how you figure out what the DLC was. Okay, so I'm gonna launch the game. I'm signed in, which is fine for this demonstration. It doesn't matter if I'm signed in or not. I could sign out. I'll restart the game. It should allow offline play, but it's not. Okay, well, I'll sign back in. notice I only have Hawaii and the 2 planes. If I close this, which I will, I'll show you the DLC in action quickly. Go back here, I'll just quickly rename this. I'll type flight. Apparently it's not showing up. Okay. Well, we'll go here, Microsoft Games, Microsoft Flight. Loading content. You'll notice this load takes a bit longer, or it should take a bit longer. You notice I now have Alaska and all of Hawaii. As well as all the planes. Now we'll close that again. I will rename this back. So what I did, or what I've so far figured out, is you make sure everything is in the core the root directory. So we'll go here. I will take this, move it over. I will go add these to main game directory because I figured this out. I will take these, copy, paste. La li la li la. If you want, you could probably have skipped this. Okay, I will load it one more time. And you'll notice that I still won't have any to download content. So go play. Notice I don't have anything still. So what you want to do here is, what I did, is I opened this up and I was paying attention to how they did this. And I use this as a template. So you close this, you rename this one, because in case you need a backup, it's always good to have. The one I made, same template, except for this one has all the other values. And the way I found these, like these, is I went to, let's say, the mule. I opened up content, I didn't open it. I went to open up file locator and I copied and pasted this. And then what I did is I renamed this, took this, I copied this, and then you just add it to here. So there's a meal. So what I did is I added to meal and then content because that's what it looked for. And because the folder is called meal here, and open up the pack because everything in Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight, extracts while using. So what I did is I rebuilt the file locator, the main file locator. So once you got the main file locator built and looking right, you just copy it over, run it again. And you know this will take longer to load again, or it should. And now you notice I got all of Hawaii, and I got the planes. And that's without using the Windows Live Marketplace or having to pay for the DLC, in theory. I'm just the problem I have, and I can't figure it out, is I go to World, I have Alaska, but when I click on it, it says downloading content. This is the part I can't figure out. Because Alaska, if I open up content pack, go scenery objects, Alaska said it depends on this, which happens to be Alaska shared. And Alaska shared here, if I open up content pack here, go scenery, it depends on these ones. And I have these here, but the depending part is this folder name. And this folder name, if I go back to Xbox where it would normally download, 3A or 3A. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I thought 3.1. It doesn't matter. The dependencies aren't working and I can't figure out why. Everything looks like it's supposed to. But for some odd reason, I can't get the Alaska scenery to work. So when I figure out what's causing the Alaska scenery not to work, I'll update the file locator.config file or some of the other ones within the packs, and I'll find a way to update it. And once I get it updated, I will recompile a simple installer for MS Flight with all the DLC working out of the box. So for anybody that bought it and can't seem to get your DLC back, you can either import it yourself or just run the standalone version that I'm going to eventually compile and build for you guys. So that is how you can get downloaded aircrafts and DLC to work in Microsoft Flight standalone install or Steam Edition. It works in the Steam Edition as well. And if you need to re-download your DLC, give it a shot. Make sure to uninstall all of Games for Live and then install the one that comes with Games for Market. Make sure it comes with the one for Microsoft Flight itself, and don't update it. Another thing quickly, I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna rename this one more time. If you have the DLC running, if you run the marketplace DLC alongside my modified version of what I just showed you, you'll get a crash, because what happens is it tries to load two of the DLC at the same time and extract it at the same place, and it'll crash. So if you happen to have all the DLC and you want to help me try and get Alaska to work, but you don't want to screw that crash up, make sure just to rename, keep a file looker, the original one, and just keep it back, and then just swap the names between the two. So if I wanted to go here and go dot back one, and then take this one and change it back to here, and then load it again. You will see that, oh, it crashed. Why did it crash? Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. That shouldn't have crashed. Unless my back folder isn't properly done. Okay, no, it's right. Yeah, it's crashing. I have no idea why it's crashing now. I broke it, but there you go. Mental note, I know why it crashed. I didn't rename the wrong one. I unrenamed the wrong one. So this goes back to back, 0, 1. And then you take this one, the original one, take it off back like that, and then start Flight Simulator. And this should load back in my live stuff and not my pre-configured, not my modified stuff that I just tried to show. See, now I got Alaska back working, because that's pulling it from my X-Live folder. So, if you're someone with all the DLC, like I do, and you, like I said, want to help me try and get Alaska working without needing the DLC and do it within the root folder here somehow, just make sure you rename your default local to a back file, and if you are going to use my custom made local file, make sure it's that way. And if you are running DLC, make sure to rename your Xlive folder wherever you may have it and just call it .back so it doesn't cause that crash as you saw. Thanks.